my name is Estrella Vargas, and I'm a proud employee here at CAN TV. Today I have the honor of interviewing Maria Lopez and Pepe Vargas, who are both from the International Latino Culture Center of Chicago. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And today we're going to talk about the amazing Latino Film Festival, which happens every year. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
A little bit?
Or a lot?
A lot, yeah. I mean, it's after 24 years, we know a lot about the festival. But the most important thing is for people to pay attention and make the effort, because we have worked very diligently to put together a sample of the best Latino film from everywhere, from Latin America, Spain, the Caribbean, from the U.S., and definitely from Chicago as well.
And I think we have a very important platform at this time to really showcase what's out there and the kind of stories Latinos are telling. And, we want to share that with the whole city of Chicago.
Yes. And I saw that the poster that is behind us, and I can show you a little closer here. So this poster, every year you all have a contest and choose the poster that will represent this year's Chicago Film Festival. And so can you tell me a little bit more about why this poster was chosen? And, let's tie it into the politics that are happening, because as we know, Latinos and borders are inseparable in politics, although we are more than just borders. What is the significance behind this poster? And, yes.
I mean, we had an open contest. Last year, for instance, a young lady from Poland won the contest, and it's open worldwide. And this year, same thing, and I think we had done this for some 20 plus years. Open contest, so we call the artists graphic designers, and it's a lot of people who submit, and this year we got some 600, close to 650 entries. And when we saw all of these entries, and then we have a jury, meaning we had really nothing to do with the selection of the poster.
Yeah.
We run the contest.
Uh-huh.
And as we had to be as impartial as possible, so we have a panel of 5 judges who selected. And so they came down to this, and I think it's really appropriate, as you say, and meaningful. Right?
Impactful, and we think it's one of our most impactful. We've had wonderful posters throughout all of our 33 years, but this one I think is one of the most impactful ones, and I think it really has an excellent message and a very prominent message due to the times that we're living in right now.
Exactly.
And that is what we do. We kind of open the door for artists to give us and share with us their ideas. And this time, well, the designer, who happens to be local.
Oh, wow.
And he, I think artists, they had the ability to capture the historical moment. And also the judges, who they viewed this, and they saw this is what is going on. There's a lot of things about the wall.
Correct.
And I build the wall.
Yeah.
And nobody can build a wall, because power in the soul of people, which is expressed through the arts, film, poetry, music, dance, literature. So, and film is definitely one of the most powerful ways of communicating and making avert the feelings of people. So it can break walls, no matter how strong they are.
Yes.
And we've received excellent feedback from a lot of people. When we announced the poster, we got a lot of phone calls and emails from people saying, it was a great poster, very impactful. And, they were asking when they could start buying T-shirts and buy posters.
That's amazing, because I do want to reiterate the fact that you said, although walls might stop people from crossing to another land, but the things that we create, they're borderless, and this poster definitely captures that, and it's amazing. Mm-hmm. I want to ask more about this is the 34th film festival. So, compared to the very first one, how has it changed? How has it progressed?
it really hasn't changed. The substance of the matter remains the same. How can we share our culture with a medium like film? So that has been since day one. Also, we want these films to be seen by as many people as possible, Latinos and non-Latinos. And also, it gives us the opportunity to kind of recognize ourselves as a family that is multinational, is multiracial, different languages. So this is who we are as Latinos, and then how we can portray ourselves in films is to be really the best way possible for us to do it. And then we began doing other things. But in that sense, it hasn't changed. The essence remains. Naturally, the first festival was attended by 500 people. Now it's on 2,500 people, 25,000 people who attend. It has grown, it's larger and more impactful, and expenses also much larger, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The bigger it gets, the more you have to put into
Expensive,
it.
yes.
We had to be the best film festival in the country. That is important. I mean, we are in a city that it somehow embraces the foreign impact, and that has given us room to really make a difference. People are usually waiting. The springtime is coming, and along with that, the film festival is the warmth of the Latino soul expressed through these films from Spain, Argentina, Chile, and everywhere, Cuba, Dominican Republic. So we bring the Caribbean here
Yes.
without people having to go there. So in that regard, it has grown in terms of the number of people who attend films. This year we have more than 100, which has been sort of the standard lately. First year it was 13 films, and now it's more than 100. Being number one in the country, it's good. It's a luxury that we enjoy, but it carries also a big responsibility to make sure that what we do is sound, is solid, and also because we speak on behalf of our community, we claim to be sort of the voice of the community, and that's something that we take seriously.
Correct.
And do everything possible to make sure that we don't fail. Betraying the community that we speak on behalf of, that won't be the right thing. So we do the very best we can to make sure that the film festival is an excellent platform for us to share the culture.
Correct. And the topics that are portrayed are, how diverse are they? So I know, is it music? Is it mostly music or like art? Or, how diverse are the films?
They're very diverse. I also handle the programming of the short films along with the features. And, we realized there were a lot of films this year that either had to do with, hidden treasures. Somehow there was like the theme of a hidden treasure. There was a lot of films that were addressing the issue of immigration and undocumented youth, and the Central American immigrants or young children who come to the United States and are on their own, and the experiences that they go through and how they cope with the traumas that they've suffered. So I think it's extremely diverse, and I think these are all films that address topics that are very prevalent and very important and that need to be addressed. So yeah, we have a little bit of everything lined up.
When they come in the form of great comedies, heavy dramas, political satires, we have some thrillers, good documentaries that are sort of revealing situations that sometimes government wants to hide them. And so that is what the filmmakers do. They just bring up to
Correct.
expose them and share those messages and encourage people to take action.
Correct. And so with that being said, we should show some of the trailers of the films that are going to be portrayed throughout the festival. And the first one we're going to see is called ¿Quién eres tú? Who are you? And it basically talks about healthcare and how Alzheimer's has affected a family in Puerto Rico. So
Political corruption.
correct,
Yeah.
all of that. Good, well, not good stuff. But okay, so I'm gonna play it.
Guillo y Isabel.
Aquí está,
Belén.
amor. Cumple de Ernesto.
A ver,
¿Ese es verdad?
tú eres Ernesto, ¿verdad? Es broma.
¿Cómo se llama esa que está ahí, nuestra hija mayor?
Belén.
Señor secretario. Gobernador Olivense.
Juan nos hizo saber que usted tiene ciertas consideraciones con respecto a la reforma de salud.
Es la privatización de los servicios de salud pública. Punto y se acabó.
A mí me parece que es el camino a seguir.
Suárez.
Papi.
¿Qué pasó?
Mami. Yo no puedo creer que tú la dejaste salir.
¡Yo! Y de repente le quitamos los ojos de encima por un minuto y
¡Mamá!
Sí, ya Belén me contó.
le pudo haber pasado algo, papi.
Quita.
¿No te molesta que te pregunte por Aurora?
Contrario. ¿Y su esposa?
Yo espero que este sea el final de esta conversación. Estamos de acuerdo, ¿no?
No.
Y se mantuvo en secreto por petición del mismo funcionario.
Ahí hay nombre, ahí hay contrato.
Lo que pasa es que no sabemos con la clase de gente que estamos bregando.
Con tu asistente y ahora con tu novia, pues claro.
¡Para ya! Yo no soy el que estoy enfermo. Es tu madre. Yo tengo que seguir viviendo.
Potente cual marejada fue su amor, la playa de mi cariño la arrasó.
Wow, that looks like a very amazing film. It tackles, how politics and as a whole in the government can affect a family, but also how a specific, health issue can affect a family internally.
It's a massive film.
Yes.
Yeah. And Arimaniel Cruz, he had a film last year as well, and it was really popular. And, we like to say he's kind of a darling of the festival. He always brings, great films, and his films are usually really well attended as well.
Be there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will. So why do you think films need to tackle these issues of healthcare reform or things that are actually happening nowadays, but in a more like you said, comical or more dramatic way in films?
I mean, that's the role of artists. They capture the essence of what is happening or what happened. There are some historical dramas, and also there are some science fiction that they are living today, but also their mind is way ahead and creating something that in their minds will happen, and eventually does. I mean, it does. So that's what the science fiction films do. So, and the artists do, and in this case, it's a situation. Is the healthcare in Puerto Rico that is deeply corroded. And same here.
Yeah.
It's not an exception. So somebody who really sees that and has the tools to tell the story, that's what he does. A young director who is well familiar, research a lot, put a script together, and then get actors who really portrayed that and made something appealing to. And eventually, the great desire is how can we make people move. change and take action and oppose to that and eventually change the situation.
Correct. And another form of, something very powerful that, can travel across lands and oceans and can impact people is music. And our next film is La Guitarra que Vuela. And that one is very interesting. I mean, we can talk more about Paco de Lucia afterwards, but, this film, is going to tackle the industry of music and its power through film. So we can watch it.
Hola, buenas tardes, señores pasajeros. Les habla el comandante. Mi nombre es Alberto Lázaro y les doy la bienvenida a bordo de este vuelo de Iberia con destino a Nueva York.
Me complace anunciarles que hoy viaja con nosotros una pasajera muy especial, a la última guitarra de nuestro ya desaparecido genio, Paco de Lucía.
So can you tell us a little bit more about Paco de Lucia?
Go ahead, Maria.
Not all at once.
I mean, he was a genius.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this is that people who are also genius, great composers, and that's what we will see here. Carlinhos Brown from Brazil, or Gaetano Veloso,
Alejandro Sanz.
They talk about, they are genius themselves, but the other one way up.
Yeah.
And the respect, the feeling, the connection, and also touching the guitar that he designed, Paco de Lucia designed, and then we see the process of making the film. It's beautiful, and when I saw that, we had to have this in the festival, because what it says, and the feeling, and also give us the opportunity to understand how music transcends, capture the essence of the human being, and then is able to, that's what musicians do, in this case, artists. And when we decided to do this, we thought about, let's do something similar to what they had done, because like I say, it's 9 countries that they had gone. And so the filmmaker travels with Paco de Lucia's guitar. And so here, there is a young lady, Mexican. She's an accomplished flamenco guitar player. So we are having her playing Paco de Lucia's guitar as he is doing, and other musicians have done it. And that would not go along too good without putting some tapas.
Yes.
So we got tapas, guitarra, and sangria at Instituto Cervantes. So a little, also it's a tribute to something that we recognize, that we feel connected, that also that we embrace as part of our culture.
Correct.
This is part of, and that is what we wanted to do with the film festival. Not necessarily teaching people, but also convey that message that we had the responsibility to claim.
Correct.
And that is, we have an award that we give, and we call the Gloria Award. And the first time we gave that award, we gave that to Celia Cruz.
Oh.
So we recognize her as an icon. Her talent, the legacy, and also we wanted to make sure that the new generations embrace that and claim that as to be part of who we are.
I'd also like to add that I think this is one of the films that's the most representative of her poster, because it's all about how this guitar and Paco de Lucia's music has been able to transcend boundaries and borders, and with the power of music, there are no boundaries.
Correct. And music is I like to say that music is in of itself, like its own language, and like
Absolutely.
people from all over the world can understand music by just listening to it and relating to it. And so this film captures all of
Absolutely.
politics, the beauty behind culture and music, and that's what the film festival tries to. That's like its mission, like the goal of the film festival. And so I know you all have like you said, you had an event where you're gonna showcase this film and like have tapas and come together, but there's also like the closing the closing event, and you're gonna portray the film called The Summit. And before we talk a little bit more about why you chose this film to conclude this amazing festival and the importance of this film, let's watch it.
El presidente viaja a su primera cumbre internacional. Ahora, el mundo entero se va a dar cuenta de que la Argentina tiene un presidente invisible. Esta cumbre es importante para todo el mundo.
Marina.
Quiero que la metas en un avión y la traigas, hija.
¿Usted cree en el mal, presidente?
El mal existe, señorita Klein. Y no se llega a presidente si uno no lo ha visto un par de veces al menos. Están mandando a alguien. ¿De qué estás hablando? Los yanquis.
Señor presidente, es un honor conocerlo.
¿Pasó algo?
Sí.
Como que la ve bien, una reacción, no habla.
Buenas tardes, doctor.
Buenas tardes. Ella sabe que estoy acá, ¿no? ¿Usted qué sugiere, doctor?
Concéntrate en mi mirada, que nada te desconcentre.
¿Por qué lo tenías que hacer así? ¿Cómo no me di cuenta?
Como si se estuviera inventando una vida que no tuvo.
¿Qué es esto, un interrogatorio? ¿Estoy acusada de algo ilegal o qué?
Esto no puede aparecer.
El problema de ustedes, de su gobierno.
Tranquila, cálmate.
Digo lo que sé, porque yo sé lo que haces.
So why did you choose this film to conclude the event?
It's a political drama. Great actors. The story, it is very relevant, and it's real. It happens in real life, and getting 4 presidents together to discuss serious matters. The president of Chile is embodied by a great actress that was here in Chicago. And we gave this Gloria Award that we gave Celia Cruz. So she embodied that. Is the president of Mexico, also portrayed by a great Mexican actor, president of Brazil and president of Argentina. That's the political thing and all the intrigue that happens there, but also is the family drama. And the beauty happens in the Andes. The summit is called La Cordillera in Espanol.
La Cordillera.
Yeah, because it's way up. I mean, it could have been another film, but this is very, very appropriate. We wanted, we had to have a film that closes the festival, and we want people to keep this in mind that the 35th festival is coming.
That's
So
true.
we wanted to close with a great festival, and also kind of Puerto Rico, Argentina.
Yeah, very diverse.
Yeah, we
Try to-
wanted to portray that. So it's a great film, and so is the opening night. And in between, we have more than 100
Oh,
from every
yeah.
country. So
A lot to choose. So there's a film for everyone. But this one, I like it because it just shows how decisions can affect, you know, something bigger, like a whole continent, to like a decision like that like the family, like the family drama can affect, you know, the family, and how it's just onto one person, and there's like a lot of, you know, decisions and like pressure on like one person, and so like it's a little more dramatic, but you know, it talks about like the reality of like you know, being a president, and the pressure of being a president. So.
And also, I mean, to me, it could happen to the president of Mexico, but it focusing in the president of Argentina.
Correct. Yeah.
But every one of us had a family, and a family drama and all of that. So it has the family, the political, and then there is a lot of things how together can sort of form a cohesive group that they will oppose the policies of the U.S. government, because also there is involvement in the U.S. government. So they got together, how can we fight back? And so it's a lot of intrigue among themselves, a lot of discussions, a lot of drama, and underneath is the personal drama, the president of Argentina and his daughter.
Absolutely, and like the Puerto Rican film that we showed earlier, ¿Quién eres tú? Who are you? It's the same thing where the film addresses a bigger issue, but within that, you also get to see a lot of the family drama and the internal conflicts within the main characters.
Yeah, because I feel like in politics in general, when we usually forget that these politicians, you know, have families and also have, you know, are like us who deal with, you know, problems at home and like outside, and so it just puts the human side to it. Because sometimes we think of them as like, you know, these robots that are making these big decisions that don't really benefit us but are for us.
Or you imagine that they have a perfect life.
Correct.
And everything's perfect.
Yes. So these films are amazing, and that was the last film that we were gonna show today. But I just want to let everyone know that if you all have any questions about the Latino Film Festival or want to know more about it, to visit the International Latino Cultural Center's website, and here's their contact information. You can call them at 312-431-1300. Or here's their email address and their local address. But also, if you go on their the website that is on the screen, you can check out the schedule of all the films that are going to be happening, and then you can view trailers, view more information about them, and, you know, pick the right ones, because there are, like you said, 100 films.
Plenty of options.
Correct, and you want to choose the right one. So this is an amazing opportunity to have you all here and, you know, put a face to like this organization, because it's so big, and this festival in general. And so, thank you so much for coming in today. And is there something that you want to, you know, let the audience know when they're going to these events or to going into the theater and watching these films? Like, is there like something that you want them to keep in mind throughout the festival?
I would just say definitely do not miss out on the opportunity to watch these films, because these films are really hard to find and really hard, you know, to come across. A lot of these films you won't even find in Netflix. So, you know, if you missed your chance to attend one of these screenings, that's probably going to be it. So I would say definitely do your research, check out our website, make your list of films that you want to attend, and come and check us out.
Correct.
I mean, unlike Hollywood, that every Friday people line up to see what is. We just come once a year.
Yeah.
So we encourage people to go and see as many films. People usually ask me, what will I see? And my recommendation is whatever you can see. That would be a good choice. I mean, I encourage people to see as many as they can. It's a unique opportunity. I most definitely kind of go and see and check out. And they do, and they're happy with that. They are with English subtitles, so they can bring their non-Latino friends to travel throughout the Latino universe without really being in Chicago, paying only $13, going to the AMC, River East 21 theaters. Everything happens there. We have other locations, but that's pretty much the main one.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was an honor, having you all here and getting to know more about this festival. And we look forward to it. And thank you so much.
Thank you.